JNU's struggle, there was another struggle on fee question, another militant struggle. And as it was going on, came in the CAA and NRC, Citizenship Amendment Act and National Register of Citizens. What happened thereafter is history. But it is very important history. Had the students' union struggle across the country not happened, perhaps the opposition to CAA and NRC would also have got muted. But in the continuity of struggles as it happened, world was witness to a heroic struggle and that too led by the Muslim women against CAA and NRC. And that struggle, even though last section of participation was from among the minorities, but that struggle inspired and gave hope to all the progressive elements, all the progressive forces in the country. You and I are witness to that. It is no mean achievement that CAA and NRC hangs in the limbo till date. And at least I am convinced that it is the heroic struggle of the students and the women and others who took part in CAA and NRC which also paved the way for the glorious farmers' struggle that world was witness to just last year. The success of a struggle need not be as parochially defined as whether its immediate demands were met or not met. A struggle achieves a lot more than just the demands for which it is agitating. It educates the people. It enriches their consciousness. It brings people together, affords them an opportunity to know each other better. People who had been living as strangers, even though They were part of the same society. They got to know each other. We had tens of hundreds of farmers coming from Punjab and running a continuous kitchen in Shaheen Bagh to support that struggle. I don't know how to quantify these achievements. It is in this context that Sharjeel's role is also important. For I know he had campaigned extensively before the CAA and RC movement actually got off the ground. As history has always bared it, the path of struggles is never a linear one. Neither in its progression upwards nor in its downfall. It passes through many stages, many tricky situations, which make it go up and down and zigzag. But that society will come to a standstill people shall forever be quietened, which is what the rulers would want. Their problem is that they cannot come to grips with the fallacy of their desire. Our problem is that when the things appear to be standstill, many of us or some of us tend to lose hope. But that need not really be the case. I know the situation today, it appears hopeless at one level, very tragically hopeless at another level, and yet the entire ruling apparatus it is exposing its vulnerability in unleashing terror on the people. Look at the bankruptcy of things. That on a bail application, the court proceedings go on as the trial of the case was on, even though it is just a bail matter. And what does the court come up with? Delhi High Court's judgment in Umar Khalid's case. Their entire diatribe is on the issue of Inquilab Zindabad. Long live revolution. Revolution for them is something highly sanguinary, entailing bloodshed, violence, and hence Umar Khalid was instigating violence. Now we all know that after Bhagat Singh famously raised this slogan during his trial in the colonial era, almost every Indian, including these Sangh Parivar zealots, in whichever struggle people participate, the first slogan raised is Inquilab Zindabad. What did Sharjeel do? That he disagreed with the government? Is disagreement a profanity? A crime? You may agree, may not agree with the views. I would also have my reservations about what many people think. But just because someone does not think like me and I am, what shall I say, the sovereign? So I have the power to put you in the dungeons. And if you happen to be a Muslim, then you have, of course, earned it for yourself. People who have lived here in this land, not since yesterday. We've shared this subcontinent for thousands of years together. And I must say, for the better part, we've managed with each other, all of us, very well. It's rare to find any other place in the world where people of such remarkable diversity have lived together in harmony to create a society which commanded around 27% of the world GDP until the British made India their colony. 27% of the world GDP. India and China together accounted for more than 50% of the world GDP. Now, if we are going to treat our own brothers and sisters with a perpetual eye of susceptibility, always trying to find a shadow of being anti-national just because of a person's identity. Imagine what we are doing today. This regime, the extent of its shamelessness, is shown by the manner in which they have released those gentlemen of honor or dishonor in Bilkis Banu's case. No, what's Bilkis? What is left with them to save in the name of dignity? They think they will keep Sharjeel, Umar Khalid, Anand Teltumde, Gautam Navlakha, so many students of Jamia in jail, and that will secure their regime. Sharjeel is in jail, but he inspires this meeting. We are here today, together. And if the regime thinks that we will forget by and by, they are sadly mistaken. If they have their ways, people also have their ways. If oppression has its ways, resistance has far more colorful, creative, audacious ways to give a reply. I think, friends, we should break the status quo that seems to prevail as of now. We should raise our voices as a united student body that stands for democratic rights of all Indians, and especially its minorities, its other vulnerable sections, the Dalits, the tribals, marginalized nationalities, not as a measure of magnanimity on part of those who think they are in majority, but as a solemn duty. On 10th of December shall be the International Human Rights Day. Perhaps the student organizations can come together to launch a campaign building towards commemoration of International Human Rights Day. I am associated with an organization, Jan Hastakshep, that is People's Intervention. We are organizing a meeting on coming 8th, where Tista Setalwad, Justice Madan Lokur, and others will be there against institutionalized annihilation of democratic rights of the people. With these words, I hope you will draw courage from your own actions and build the things up towards making our voice louder and ever more forceful. Thank you.